Witchcraft is like spookier.
Mm.
Wizards are like kind of cool.
Right. Sorcery seems like it's maybe
like a cool vibe.
Yeah, it's like you may be doing good or bad, but either way, it's pretty fucking cool what you do with your wand.
Your wizard wand?
Your wizard wand. Hi, we're back again after a week without you.
Yeah.
Which I guess I don't know if we really planned this, but we've done a week with you and then a guest and then you and then a guest and then so on. So I don't know if we'll keep that going. I don't know if we have enough guests to do that with, but
you run out of friends.
Yeah, I don't have many, so
No.
that's
not true.
We are we're back together again.
We were split up for a minute.
We haven't seen each other since our last episode together.
My favorite is everyone that's always like, this lady asking you questions.
Yeah.
And they're just like, number one, everyone hates me.
Yeah. Well, you said some mean things.
Well, I wouldn't.
And you talked over me.
I interrupted
I'm a man
you.
And you talked over me, and that really upset people. Yeah.
How could I do this?
How could you talk over me?
No, but everyone's like, this lady's asking you these questions. She's laughing at this, and she's doing. Everyone hates me.
Yeah, because we were laughing at that guy who died.
Yeah, which is very sad. I wasn't laughing at him who died. Very sad.
We said no disrespect, but
that's a crazy way to die.
Yeah, and it is funny.
So I don't know how good of a co-host I am.
I think you're great. I love talking to you. You make me a better host. So
assistant host.
Yeah, but we just did an episode with Johnny, our friend. Talked about donuts and a bunch of random stuff. We didn't really answer any fitness questions though, so I think tonight we'll try to answer some questions. But we also have some segment ideas too that we've kicked around.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, like I'm really excited about one of them.
Oh.
Where you kind of voice over and narrate.
Yeah, do you have a video?
A workout. Yeah, I'll just give you a workout.
Oh, great.
But you just have to mute your phone and watch it.
It's always on mute.
And hear the sound.
I don't watch anything with sound. Honestly, I wouldn't know that you did voiceovers on videos if I didn't listen to you record them.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever watch anything with sound on.
If I wasn't your husband. Our dog is always interrupting the podcast. He doesn't do anything all day long. He sits on the couch. He sits on the bed. He doesn't move all day until we start a podcast. This is not.
Needs to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's like. But whenever I record a voiceover, I'll do like check 1 2 into the mic, and I'll play it back.
He's immediately there
to see, are my audio levels fine or whatever before I record a voiceover. And every time not when I say it, but when I play back through the speakers, me saying check 1 2, it triggers the dog. He runs out full speed, and he's standing at attention, like he wants to be a part of it somehow, which is probably why he's doing it now
the other day. I was reading our baby a book, and he could not manage that. He literally was like pacing around the room, like hated that I was reading.
He didn't know what you're trying to indoctrinate her or something. He's very protective.
He didn't know what was happening, and then for like 15 minutes afterwards, he was just like really like unsettled around the house.
Yeah. Well, we talked about Cooper before. Obviously, he's a big part of the family, and he's one of my favorites. But he got a haircut recently, which is more of just like they shaved him. And someone described him as a lamb recently. Yeah. And that's basically what happened. I mean, he got sheared.
He did.
Because he was so mad. So he like doesn't look like even the breed that he is, which is a Labradoodle. He looks crazy. Yeah. Right now. He's literally, they like shaved him down to nothing. So I'll throw up some pictures so they can see that.
He's a dumb dog.
He's a silly dog. I don't know how we got on that, but or where we were headed, but so let's do questions, and then we'll do one of those two segments, in the middle, or one in the middle, one at the end, and yeah, we'll just see what happens, which is what we normally do.
Sounds good.
Okay. Ask me.
Why are gym bros angry / mean?
Why are gym bros angry / mean?
Yeah.
I think that most of them just look that way, maybe at the gym, and they're not actually mean.
Oh.
Or angry, I'm sure there are those people, but I think you'd be surprised. Even I find myself like, seeing someone consistently in the gym that I don't know or whatever that maybe looks that way, looks angry and mean, and I'm like, okay, they're angry and mean, but then I'll meet them and they'll be the nicest person. I'll be like, I can't believe I ever thought that they were angry or mean, Wow. So I think that,
give someone a chance.
Yeah, give people a chance. They're not all angry and mean. I'm sure that they're there to get out those feelings maybe, and that's why, you see that. But most of them are really nice.
Do you think people think they're just angry and mean because they're big?
Or they're just like intimidated by big muscle man?
Yeah.
Sure.
Big boys.
Well, yeah, maybe. Or it's just like a stereotype.
Oh.
That's,
Well, you know how
big muscle boys are mean.
You know how like Planet Fitness, it's like no grunting.
Oh, lunkheads.
No,
Yeah. The lunk alarm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What is the lunk?
I think that's just what they're calling like a big meathead.
Oh.
I think that's their name for it.
Mm.
But yeah.
Is it like no tank tops?
Yeah.
Something stupid like that?
Yeah. Which is, they're just targeting it's a different demographic, and that's fine. We don't respect that gym as much as other gyms. Oh. But anyway, yeah, so to recap, they're probably not. They're probably just go say hi to one, and I bet you they're so nice to you, and you'll wonder why you ever thought that about them.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yep. Don't judge a gym bro by his
tank top. I used to always make fun of my dad whenever he wore a tank top.
You made fun of your dad for wearing tank tops?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I would say, you're wearing your tank top.
What is that? But what are you insinuating?
Nice, like he's one of the girls.
Oh, like it's feminine to wear a tank top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Your poor dad. He just took that abuse from you.
Yes.
He's so sweet.
He thought it was funny. What do you do for a living?
Yeah, I work for a nonprofit Christian ministry. Mm-hmm. We have orphanages all over the world, missionaries everywhere, like around the globe. The main base is in Mozambique in Africa.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
It's called Iris Global, and I am the creative director for this organization.
Is that why you can make your videos cool?
Because I'm a creative director?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helps. But people always ask me about that stuff. And I'm like, oh, I went to school for this. I literally went to college for like graphic art and design and video. So
yeah, but that's like so different than it is now.
What do you mean?
Like as far as
the evolution of of what? Graphic design?
Yeah, like
video?
Even it's like, oh, I went to school for if you went to school for like computers. Yeah. In 1999.
Oh yeah, because technology moves so quickly.
Yeah,
sure.
Going to school for anything.
Okay, so basically is what you're saying is like my degree doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying it's like
it's outdated. My knowledge in my brain from school is outdated. Somewhat. It's like an old operating system.
Yeah, somewhat.
Like no one even needs to know this anymore because.
No, I mean you like maintain. I would say you maintained your like. I don't know.
Well, sure, yeah. I've been keeping up with what's happening in the industry.
Yeah, but it's not like somebody could just say like, oh, I went to school for that.
Yeah.
And then, 10 years later, try to jump into being a designer.
Yeah. It's definitely different. That's a interesting world that moves so fast. You got to stay on top of what's happening.
Big wide world out there.
It is.
World Wide Web.
But that's what I do. And yeah, we check out Iris Global. It's an amazing organization. They're doing a lot of good around the globe. So it's fun to
around the global.
It's fun to be a part of that.
Yeah. What does it mean to train optimally?
What does it mean?
My workouts.
Okay. What does it mean to train optimally?
My workouts.
Yeah. Okay, so optimal training is like a thing right now. People have put out content and take a position that like only certain movements are the most optimal, and if you do anything different than that, you're wasting your time. It's not effective, and you're dumb if you do anything but these optimal movements, right? So maybe that's what he's talking about. But the thing about an optimal workout is that it's very individualized. So it depends on you. It depends on your goals. It depends on your age, your weight, like it depends on so many things. It's hard to say what's an optimal workout without knowing information about that specific person. So so I think that's saying that a certain movement's better than another movement, it's more optimal, is
optimal for what though?
For muscle growth, most likely that's what they're talking about, which would be hypertrophy. So saying one movement is dumb because it really depends on an individual. But then people will say, about the workouts that I put out, don't follow someone's generalized, sets and reps because it's not optimal, which is probably true. Like the general rep ranges and sets that I put out may not be optimal for you, but if you don't know what's optimal for you, this is a place to start, right? And so this is why I put the workouts out, because most of the people that are watching them are maybe newer to the gym, or they haven't been training for years. They're not an advanced trainee. So I'm just giving, guidelines, just a place to start. And then, people from there, as they learn more, I think they can figure out, what's optimal for them. The only person that would know what is optimal is going to be you. It's you.
Wow.
Wow.
What's the difference between witchcraft and sorcery?
What's the difference between witchcraft and sorcery?
Yep.
Witchcraft feels more like a witch might be doing it. Yeah.
A sorcerer is like a
wizard.
Oh, yes, a wizard.
So I guess the difference in my mind is probably it's a witch doing it or it's a wizard doing it. So that would be
male versus female
gender roles.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Witchcraft feels more demonic.
Witchcraft is like spookier. Wizards are like kind of cool.
Right. Sorcery seems like it's maybe
like a cool vibe.
Yeah, it's like you may be doing good or bad, but either way, it's pretty fucking cool what you do with your wand.
Your wizard wand?
Your wizard wand. Okay, so witchcraft, sorcery. Witchcraft definitely feels more demonic than sorcery. It's spookier.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you said. And I think just sorcery is better.
Oh.
And maybe more effective.
But do you think that's because it's a man doing it versus a woman?
Maybe it's just, maybe I'm subconsciously pro-wizard because
men do a
of
better
all
job
of the alpha energy that they give off.
Bummer.
Can a female be a wizard?
No way.
Are you sure?
No, only witches.
We'll have to look into the lore. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Don't get caught up in that. Don't go down the wizard Google trail.
Okay, I won't be Googling wizards as soon as we finish this. Okay, we're gonna do a segment where you, my wife, Catherine, she's gonna watch one of my workout videos that you've probably not seen before. I don't think you watch all of my workout videos. No. So this is probably new visual information for you, and you're just gonna, off the top of your head, just say, you're gonna narrate it.
Yes.
Ready? Okay.
Watch this video to learn how to get full big biceps. First, you're going to start with an incline dumbbell curl. You're going to want to be sure that you're leaning back a little bit and doing it real slow. You're going to do these 15 to 20 times.
Come on.
Next, you'll do a V-bar cable curl with some V-bars. You'll do this 3 times, 10 to 12 reps. Next, you're going to hit your forearm. So the reverse grip curl is so hard. You have to be really strong to do this. People ask me all the time how to get big forearms. This is how. Use code PERK for SuperHuman pre-workout. It's so good and natural. Is this it? Overhead cable curl. Last one. You're going to have to do this one-handed. AMRAP. As many reps as possible.
Oh, that's really good. That was really good. Actually, you covered some of the main points that I would have said.
No, I didn't.
You did. I think I think you
only because you had the little titles on
the
there.
titles up there, so you knew what each movement was.
Yeah.
One of them sounded like it had a spelling error though. Did
Yeah,
it?
it did.
Oh no, that's not good. Well, that was great. Let's dive into a couple more questions and then.
Do you take creatine? If so, do you cycle it or take it consistently?
I do take creatine.
What does it taste like?
There's no taste to it. It literally has zero taste to it. And it's in pill form. I mean, a lot of it can be in powder form, but they're both tasteless. I mean, I do take that, and there's no need to cycle it. You don't ever need to cycle it. You could just take it forever, every day. There's no need to come off of it. So it's a reoccurring, element in your body already, which you get from steak and other things. But you're just supplementing that. So, and it's the most studied, I think, supplement out there, and it's safe. You don't need to cycle it, but what you do need to do is when you start, you need to do like a loading phase. In the first week, you take 10 grams every day instead of 5, and that just loads your body full of it to make sure that it's in there. And then every week from there on out, as long as you don't take like 3 or 4 weeks off, you just take it every day, 5 grams every day. Yeah, there's no need to cycle it. And I get this question a lot about, should I take creatine if I'm cutting or if I'm bulking? Like, people think that maybe you shouldn't take it when you're cutting because it makes your muscles look more full and you carry more water. But you should take it regardless, like of whether you're cutting or bulking. So you should always take it.
Football out of.
Well, I just thought I was gonna leave it because,
because you used to play football.
Well, I used to play football. Yeah.
Just makes you feel at home.
Yeah.
Always gotta have your hands on a football.
I'm going to Vegas this week for the Alpha Lion, which is a supplement company.
By the time this comes out, it'll be last week.
Right. So when this comes out, it would have already happened.
So I went to Vegas.
So I went to Vegas last week for the Alpha Lions. They're calling it the SuperHuman Games.
Nice.
But it's just a 5th birthday celebration for the company. And I guess they're in GNC now, so they're making big moves. And yeah, I love their supplements. But I'm going out there to hang out with some of the athletes for their 5th birthday. But they're doing a competition for the SuperHuman Games. And like literally every competition they're doing, I'm not going to excel in any of these areas.
Oh.
Like one of them is like how many times you can do flat bench. And I don't do flat bench in my routine because I had a shoulder issue and you don't necessarily need it to develop your chest. It's more for like
cool, big, pushing.
Looking cool, big, and pushing. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
No, it's a great way to develop your chest. It's just you don't need it in your routine, and it's kind of hard on your shoulder. But anyway, they're gonna do who can do the most like reps of like 185 or something, which I don't even do flat bench, so that's gonna be tough. And then they're doing a vertical leap.
You're not gonna try it, are you?
I'm gonna try.
No.
Well, I'm not gonna push myself to.
You're gonna get hurt.
I'm not gonna get hurt. I'm not taking it that far. I don't care. But they're doing a vertical leap, which I used to have a really good vertical leap. Like I'm 5'9" and I could dunk. And I haven't tried in a while. So I feel like my leap is not going to be there. And they're doing sprints, and we know what happens when I sprint.
Yeah.
What happens?
You always pull your hamstring.
Pull my hamstring. Yeah. And why is that, do you think?
Because you pulled it too many times.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Yeah. I thought you were going to give me a joke answer. I was ready for something else. But that's exactly why. I played college football, and I pulled my hamstrings like a million times during my college football career. And you never really recover. It's always kind of prone to that. And if you see we've talked about this before, but if you see my hamstring, I couldn't think of what muscle we were just talking about. My hamstring, when I like do leg curls or something, it looks like a minefield. It just looks like craters.
Yeah.
It looks like Mars because of the scar tissue.
Don't pull it.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, we'll know when the time this episode comes out whether I pull my hamstring or not at the SuperHuman Games.
True. At least I won't be there.
You won't be there to listen to me complain. No, that'll be my new Alpha Line friends.
Nice.
Let's go with another question.
How often do you train to failure?
How often do I train to failure?
How often do you train for failure?
I never train for failure ever.
Only success.
Do not train for failure, only train for success. Yeah.
Nice.
So I rarely go to like true failure. I mean, I do sometimes, but I think studies have shown that it's best to leave 1 or 2 reps in the tank. And I use RPE a lot with clients, which means rate of perceived exertion. And it's just a scale that helps us like understand like where we should be in respect to true failure with our sets. And most compound movements are going to be, I have them programmed for like an RPE of 8 or 9, which means you did 8 reps, you had 2 left you could have done, but you stopped there. Or you didn't.
But what if people don't actually know their limit and maybe they're stronger than they think
Well,
they are?
Right, that's the problem. People do not know what true failure is. True failure is like you're dying.
You got robbed and your wife left you and
Yeah.
then you went and murdered somebody. And
Yeah.
that's like true
You're
failure.
locked up for life. You're
true
on
failure.
death row. That's true failure.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know what that is. They never experienced that.
Most people will never know true failure.
Most people will never know. But that's a really good point that you bring up. I'm glad you said that. Most people don't know they've never experienced like true failure. And it's, muscularly speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's better to train just this side of failure for your heavy movements. I think that if you're trying to build muscle, that's best.
Flirt with it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
But I do, if I'm doing a burnout at the end of a certain muscle day, I'll take that to complete failure. But even when I'm taking myself to complete failure, like on a hack squat or something, yeah, even when I take it to failure on there, and I'm really like truly taking it to failure, like I can't get another rep, and I can't even get that rep. Like I'll fall down, and luckily there's space for me to not get crushed by the weight because they designed these well. And then I have to take weight off and put it back up because I literally went to failure. But even when I'm doing that, I'm not screaming. I'm not like hollering.
Screaming?
Yeah.
Do people scream?
People scream.
Why?
Maybe it's
like, how do they scream?
Oh, I'm not going to do an example. No, well, Johnny was talking about last week when somebody was making sex noises at the gym and the trainer's clapping his hands like slap, slap, slap. Yeah. That was a really funny episode. You should check it out. But people scream. People yell. I can hear them across the gym with my headphones on. So it's loud.
Why are they doing this?
I think maybe some of them are trying to get attention. Maybe some of them are actually working that hard, but I don't see the need for that. Even if a lot of it might just be, hype, which is fine if it helps you. Yeah. But that's not going to fly at Planet Fitness,
Oh, no way.
Let's do another question.
How often should you switch up your workouts?
Someone just asked me this today, like one of my clients.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So a lot of people think, well, there's this like misconception of muscle confusion is going to somehow keep you, building muscle.
Mm-hmm.
If you confuse the muscle, then you're sore, and if you're sore, it's working. You can feel it. But that's all nonsense because soreness is not a indicator of like whether you had a good workout or not. It's an indicator of like whether you've done that recently or not. Yeah. So if you do something that you haven't done before, if you do just a different move than you did last week for chest, that's certainly probably going to make you sore if you aren't consistently doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it was a good workout. So you need to progressively overload, and I have all my clients do it. Progressively overload the same movements as much as it sucks to do the same thing every week. The problem is everyone is like, I'm bored. I've done it for 4 weeks. I'm bored. I want to do I don't want to do the same thing at the gym.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, but that's the best thing for you to build. If you're trying to build muscle, you need to do that.
What if I don't want to do that?
Well, then you can go to find someone else that'll make you a program like that. Yeah.
What's her name?
Well, the only time that I'll like concede to someone who's like, I don't want to do this for 12 weeks. If the boredom of the workout, or if your lack of motivation to do the workout is directly tied to like what you're doing at the gym, because you've been doing it every week, and it's affecting your intensity at the gym, then I'd suggest maybe mixing it up. I would do a different movement maybe that hit the same muscle group the same way, but that's the only time I would do that. But like in my program, I'll do 10 to 12 weeks, and then we do a deload week, and then we go into phase 2, which is all new workouts and all new movements. So you just got to get through 12 weeks. Yeah.
Great question. Do you have a girlfriend?
Do I have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
I don't.
Be honest.
I really don't have a girlfriend. I swear to God. This is my wife. I have no girlfriends like that she knows about or doesn't know about. People don't know that you're my wife. They think you're some lady.
Some lady who's like grilling you with questions.
Some lady who's very mean to bodybuilders. She laughs at deaths. And she interrupts me when I speak. Oh, gosh. A man.
Wow.
Can't believe it. What kind of show is this?
What do you do for imbalanced muscles?
So if you have a noticeable like strength imbalance or size imbalance in like, let's just say your one arm over this arm, one thing you can do are what are called unilateral movements, which is working that arm, in this specific example, working that arm on its own. And if you work the arm that's weaker than the strong arm, so I would always start with that. Start with your weak side. Do your sets, reps at your RP of whatever you're training for, and then be sure that you don't do more than what you got on this arm with your strong arm. Oh. And then that's how we iron out muscle imbalances.
It's like one skinny arm, one strong arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Like farm strong.
Yep.
Where it's like you only do a movement because you're like
picking up a log.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're chopping firewood.
Yeah.
Which is what I did growing up.
And then you just have one arm that's
big. Sure. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they work construction and they do something with one hand. Yeah. But either way, unilateral movements, that's the answer.
How long can you spend in a caloric deficit when you're cutting?
How long can you spend in a caloric deficit when you're cutting? That's a good question. I don't know if they mean like if you go past a certain point, maybe it's unhealthy to be eating, less food, which is probably true. Yeah. Like that's where you could probably get into eating disorders. I think you could probably easily slide into an eating disorder by being in a caloric deficit until you're happy, but you're just never happy. Mm-hmm. I mean, be aware of that. But I think, like, don't be in a caloric deficit forever, like year round. You can't do that. Yeah. That's not sustainable. No. And it's not good for your body. No. So I would do like one full program.
What's a program?
I don't know, 10 to 12 weeks, and then just reassess and see how quickly you lost weight and how close you are to your goals, as long as they're realistic, Yeah. I think that we covered quite a few topics, and I had some laughs, and it seems like it was successful from our perspective. Or from my perspective, do you feel that was a good show?
Yeah, probably.
I've never called it a show before today, and now I'm calling it a show all the time. Oh. But it is kind of a show. Yeah. In fact, the last episode was in 4K, which, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Showy. You could watch that on your TV if you have a 4K TV, on YouTube. And
yeah, we don't
have a 4K TV. You didn't have to put us on blast like that.
This is a podcast for people who do gym stuff and others too.